Hi, in this video I'm going to go over some tips on how to customize the colors in the athletic theme. So with athletic, you're able to customize the colors of the site through the theme editor inside of BigCommerce. So to access the theme editor, you essentially, when you're logged into BigCommerce, let me just go back to the home screen, you would click on the storefront link, My Themes. You should see athletic as your current theme, and then you click the customize button, which launches the theme editor. From here, we've separated the different things that you can change into several categories, one of them being colors. And just to know that any type of color change within the athletic theme that you can do through the theme editor will be underneath the colors section. We've grouped them all together under this section. They're not spread out across the other sections. So once you go into colors, you'll see essentially all of the default colors that are being set up. And now the question is, well, how are you going to replace the colors to what you want? So the two main approaches are to base your color palette from your logo, which is what we've done in our demo store. Basically, everything's blue and red with some gray midtones. The other approach is to use a color palette that you've researched that works well with the logo or the brand that you're building out. So essentially, if you want to do it from your logo, there's a great website here where you can just upload the file, and then you can easily select the different colors. So if I were to upload our logo right now, I can see what is the hex color specifically for the blue and athletic. Same thing if I want to go for the red. So that's if you're going to base off an image. That's a real easy tool to identify the specific hex color code. For the palette, there's a site called canva.com, which has a great color combinations area. So for that, for this example, I'm just going to use a palette here to see how we can update it inside of BigCommerce. So I'm going to go with this color palette, which gives us all of our color codes that we need to customize the site. So if I go back to our theme editor, how we've organized the colors is we've essentially put all the main bands of color together. So this is the top background, navigation background. This is the header background. This is the main or the primary navigation background. Then you have your body color, and then finally at the very bottom, the footer. So if you go through and assign all your bands of color first, it will make all the color refinements a lot easier down the road. So starting with the top navigation background, we will use a pale color. So it looks like we got slate. So we'll copy that. Now, with the color swatches, it's a little bit delayed when you're working with it. So what I've noticed is a great thing to do is to use the set colors feature. So once you've got a color like this, you can hit the plus button here, and this color now becomes quickly accessible. And with color customization, the thing is you want to keep it standard across the site. So having direct access to previously selected colors is great. So I definitely highly recommend you use that set colors feature. So from there, the actual header background, I'm just going to leave as white for now. Primary navigation, let's get a good color for that. I'm going to go with, let's go radical. Let's go with the pink color. See how this plays out. Doesn't mean it's going to look good, but you'll see how everything changes. So here we are. Now, ideally, your colors will match the logo. Obviously, that's not the case here, but you get the idea. So we're going to add this as a set color because we probably will use this again in the future. Perfect. And then the footer background, I typically use the same color, but just for the case or the example here, let's go with ebony. That's kind of nice to have a really dark footer sometimes. So footer, there we are. Add that as a set color. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got our main color swatches defined, we can see that up here the text is not dark enough on that newer color that we have. So if we look at what that actually is, that's inside the top navigation element. So everything that relates to the top navigation is within this section here. So the link, I'm just going to use our nice dark set color and set that. So now we've got that updated. Link hover. What I'm going to do here is take this as my base and then lighten it just a tad. I'm going to add that to my set color as well. There we are. So now when we hover over, we get that sort of darker. Another thing here is not all the colors are seen on the desktop view. So in the case here, if I'm going to switch to mobile, you'll see we've got these colors that pop up for the mini card and the search. So the mini card background, I say let's use, or actually what I'm thinking is we use the cyan and we use the pink for the other one. So here we are, cyan. Now, I'm not going to go through all the colors because I'm sure you get the point at this time. But the main purpose here is to show you definitely use the set colors, because as you go through, and a great example here is right now I'm looking at the mini card and the search, and the search is still the same blue. Like if I switch back to desktop, you'll see my pink down here, and I go back to phone. So essentially what I definitely want to do here is reuse the pink so it matches the search box. And I have really easy accessibility there. And by switching through the different views, you basically have two main views. You have phone and you have desktop when it comes to color changes. I can see that the change I make works on both. So just quickly though, going down to the footer, because we made a pretty big color change there with the dark, it happened to work out here. But if it didn't, let's say we chose a lighter background, we go down here to the footer, we can change all the text to darker colors, etc. The other thing I want to quickly show is, generally speaking, the main color things are in the header, the footer, the main swatches, but the other one is the primary button. So in this case, I would generally use one of the colors that you want. Me personally, I think I'll go with the cyan here because it relates back to the mini card color, which is also a clickable element. And I think the cyan is a very good sort of color alongside with the pink. Without it becoming just too overwhelming one color. So that color is underneath the primary buttons. And once again, thanks to us having those set colors, I can just quickly apply. And the other trick here is on the rollovers, so the hovers, it's generally good to start with the same color and then either lighten or darken. And that's essentially move up or down. In this case, I'm going to darken on rollover. And that's it. So there's some tips with colors and how to choose your colors. Again, I mean, with Athletic, you have very granular control over colors. For example, the primary navigation, we've got our blues, but instead what I want is the pink, but a lighter version of it. And I think that's another good trick is to shade your colors. So if you don't have to come up with brand new colors for every element. You can use the same main colors and just shade them differently. And that gives the differentiation that you're looking for without creating a whole brand new thing. So that would be something to keep in mind as you go through. And this is another good example that I should probably put this as a set color so I can easily apply it to the hover effect right here. There we are, the lighter pink. And now actually assigned it to the wrong thing. There we are. This is a good real-time thing to show you how you can sort of troubleshoot and see, like the link hover here is really, I believe it was meant to be white because it's the text, the link, not the actual background. And I'm not sure why they don't add like white and black as set colors, but that's probably a good idea to do that. Where's my navigation? Top, search. Ah, here we are. Add this as a set color. Okay, now we're working. Now let's change that to the white. And there you are. So with the theme editor, basically you can save it, which saves it a version that you can come back and continue to edit. Or if you just want to publish, so it goes on your live site, you would push that button and it would go live. That's it. Hope you have fun customizing your site.